Bill, have you been?
I hit the recorder, so we had it going. What's
Yes.
up with Brian?
Have you kept up with her?
Well, I get her newsletter.
Yeah,
Um,
I get her newsletter too.
Well, she got published in the New York Times.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
get it?
yeah. Tom got it right and forwarded it to
I
us.
put
Yeah,
the link
Oh,
in the
great.
with the
invitation
link. Yeah,
2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah, we
yeah,
did that one, I think, a couple of meetings ago.
Yeah.
yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
thrilled, absolutely thrilled. Um,
And
as
she had a television show too with that.
I know, I know. I didn't get to see that because it was on some, I don't know, did you?
No, no, I didn't see it, but it was on her newsletter. She did some still shots from it, her in the studio, and she wrote another one of her little articles about how excited she was doing it, and and going down and being on the TV show and
It
everything.
was very funny. She came to town, so she was with me for a couple of days, and
Oh,
she said they asked the dumbest questions.
yeah.
They wanted them to ask something profound so that she could respond. But did you see the three responses?
Um,
I,
Okay.
the
There
three
Hello.
were
hey,
responses.
hey, Ken.
Hey,
Hi,
can't.
everyone.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The three responses on her.
on her essay.
No,
Tom, you did?
no, I did not.
I would have to. I can pull it up, but I didn't notice the responses. You're talking about from her readers.
Yeah. David, did you?
No, did not.
Well, there were three people who wrote, their opinion letters. One of them argued with her about it, and then, and then there were two others that were positive.
I guess that once I read it, I didn't go back and read the rest of the.
I was just waiting to see who would respond and what they would have to say. But
I always give her like a positive little like on it and stuff. I do need to write to her though, be a little more verbal, but I feel a little inadequate sometimes saying how I can phrase things in such a way.
She's so articulate. Yeah.
Yeah, and in a way, I wouldn't say quirky, but it's a different way she puts things, and it's very interesting and compelling. And I've always enjoyed reading it.
right.
I
Well,
think Jim is also
you
on.
could say quirky.
Yeah, quirky is good. Okay, you're right. And she's what I I am what you get is what you see. She was pretty
Right.
much doesn't hold anything back. It's like reading a private diary sometimes. The things she talks
Mhm.
about.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Sometimes too
Yep.
private as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't know. It's I know people like that have confided in me personally, telling me their things that were on their minds that had probably helped them. But to be able to do that to a readership of thousands, and I'm sure it's therapeutic for her, but it's also making her some money. She's making a living at it, so it's
That's
She
good.
is, well, she's now on an anti-tech kick, and she's now going after technology. And she's just really upset about, that our being on our phones all the time and doing this. And um, so I hope she gets rid of that because she needs to write and paint is what she needs to do. And
well,
I think it's totally hopeless to be not to be anti-tech, but to expect that she can change the glacier that's coming down.
the tech is what got her readership too.
True. Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, I could sit there at the doctor's office and look at it, so, but no, it's but no, she's finding her way, and we commented last week. In fact, if you look at last week's,
I
um,
didn't have a chance to, but I will.
I read an excerpt from her, the one she wrote about her and not her anti-drinking or but why I don't drink. And
Oh,
the last paragraph of that article was all about Joel, and she had some pictures in there, one of Joel and two of her, and I showed those on the screen too.
oh, good. Oh, I'll go and check it out.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time. I've been kind of swamped over the last 3 weeks. Um, so, but anyway, it's great to be back.
Well,
Oh
good.
yeah.
Well, since we got Kent on board today, I wanted to bring up, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I think that was the last one too, wasn't it? 75, I think.
Yeah, it would have been last.
But the strange thing, with this free admission with this flyer before 2:30 p.m. or after 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lots of fun happens after 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
We usually let everybody in free after 3 a.m. if they're female. I'm sorry.
But there's good old Roger.
Especially female.
Bill,
Jim Stanzak's in there. Edwin.
Yeah. Bob Gibson. Yeah.
I don't think that's Edwin over there. I think Edwin.
Yeah.
No,
That's Edwin there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure it's Edwin? Okay. Roger on the bottom. In fact, those girls that were in that picture, weren't they at the 50th, Kent? The 50th.
Could have been. That was a few years ago. I don't remember.
Well, no, because you were holding the flyer, and I don't have the video at hand where I could pull it up quick, but I had a little clip of you were holding up the flyer, and the girls were standing right there with you, and they said, "That's us on the flyer," So
Could have been. Yeah. I don't remember that particular thing, but yeah, that's highly likely.
And one of them, the one right in front, became an assistant manager at Houlihan's. Did.
Really?
Did, yeah. The girl right in front.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, Michael.
Hey, Mike. I Kent's on, but I don't think we told this story yet while Kent has been on, but one of my favorite Kent and Tom stories was the time they were riding and Kent fell off the bike or something and gashed his leg real bad and it was bleeding. And Tom applied a special bandage to it. He reached into his pants and ripped his underwear off without taking his pants and used it to bandage Kent's leg.
That's a true friend right there.
That is
No brown,
creative.
no brown
We
stain.
used to ride those bikes back from work, and wow, we were pretty drunk.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't a good bike rider because I grew up on a farm raising horses. I never rode a bike till I was 21.
Man.
And I went home one Christmas and my parents bought me a bike and about killed myself learning how to ride it on the farm for a day or half a day or so. I didn't know that you had to keep going. Momentum is what kept you upright. And so when we were riding home that night, I was a very, very novice bike rider and especially a drunk bike rider.
Sounds like me, Kent. I learned to ride a bike on a farm in Minnesota when I was about 7 or 8 years old or something like that. I remember riding down this dirt driveway and going across the road out in front and right into a big deep ditch about 6 or 8 feet a bunch of times, man. But later on, when I was in my early teens, I started doing stunts on bikes and stuff out here in Denver way before all the stunt bike craze came on. But I haven't been on a bicycle in 50 years. I don't think I could do it anymore.
Did y'all have enough pavement did you have enough pavement to even ride the bike on? I mean, it's kind of hard to learn if you're cutting across a farm field.
Yeah, really.
It was hard. I didn't know that. I didn't, you don't know what you don't know. It's the first time I ever on a bike. Oh, here I went. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it was actually on gravel and bikes and gravel. If you're not real careful and know what you're doing, are not a good combination.
Yeah, you're right, Kent.
Mhm.
That's my experience too.
Yeah, I'm going to do this one right away, Tom, just in case you have to make any cuts. But Mike Johnson sent me this picture last week, and I was not able to retrieve it from the email. And it's really nothing to do with your father's mustache, but it has a lot to do with what's going on politically right now. So, and Emily, you said you're ready for anything, so here it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of pretty much what's going on in the world right now.
Yes, it
His,
is.
his orange is bleeding into red.
Oh, there we go. That's good.
Okay. Everybody seems
Oh,
And
okay.
this,
I did
Yeah.
find it, Mike, and there it is.
Yeah, I got that off.
That's
Facebook.
great.
I thought he'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah. Oh no, I did. It's I guess we don't want to get into that conversation. That could take the whole hour. So
Yeah. for years.
Have
What a
you,
country. What a country we are right now.
Hi, Emily.
hi,
Hey.
have you talked about it before? Or is politics out of the,
Oh,
out
no,
of,
it's not out of the question. It's just that we talk politics sometimes, and it's pretty horrible right now what's going on. But you know,
Amen.
Maybe we can schedule a therapy or a Zoom call. Because I mean, it's just outrageous, horrible.
It's
sign me up.
oh, Big
Yeah.
Bill.
big,
Big
big-
Bill,
Yeah.
Fred, and Kent. Oh,
That was 87.
Come on.
Yeah, that was 87. Yeah. That was a good time that in that tent. I mean, the whole reunion was a good time, and so different than, of course, because there was no
Yeah.
Carnegie Hall. There was a theater, but it wasn't that. But the activities that Joel planned and put on for us was just pretty spectacular.
Yes, it was, Kent.
We were still fairly young.
That's right, fairly young. Yeah,
it's like that
I-
Bob Dylan song, but instead of forever young, it's like fairly young.
fairly.
yeah. May you stay fairly young. Yeah,
Is
Okay.
that in New Haven?
That is you, Barry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry in the back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's me in the back. Yes.
That looks.
Anybody know what year did Big Bill move to Thailand? You know,
Oh,
I've talked to him several times out there.
sometime in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, in fact, the whole time Bill was at the Mustache, and also when he was working at Molly's, he always had a beard, so I didn't recognize. I mean, I recognized the size of him, but I didn't recognize his face without.
He looks different without the beard. Yeah.
Yeah, he lived in Colorado for several years and he was a hell of a cook. And he was a partner in a Italian restaurant in Steamboat Springs for a few years. And then he went to Thailand for a visit and went back and stayed.
Yeah, he seemed to have a good time in Thailand, didn't he? He had a wife or something out there.
He got
Yeah,
married.
he had a
Her name was
tiny little
Flower.
Thai wife named Flower.
Flower.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had his own club there, bar, or was it?
Well, as I understand it, foreigners aren't allowed to own businesses there. So his wife was technically the owner of the bar, but I think he was the chef and brains behind it. But who knows for sure?
No, but he used to. I didn't ever talk to him, but I corresponded with him on Facebook and on emails and stuff occasionally before he passed. Yeah, he was having a lot of trouble with diabetes and
Yeah.
loss of feeling in his feet and stuff like that. I remember towards the end.
He was a character.
He
Yeah.
was. He was that.
He was a good performer too. He could sing. He was a presence, even though he was really large. But he was even larger than that when he was.
President, that's the understatement.
Yeah.
Big presence.
Here's a memory. Remember Iron Jaw Sampson,
Who's that?
the guy who used to eat glass, and he came in on some nights when he was in town. He was a fairly interesting guy when you eat glass, but he used to pick. He was extremely strong, and he picked Big Bill up and carried him across the stage by the back of his pants in his jaws. I remember that as going, what the hell?
Oh my
He actually
God.
did that to a couple of football players, Saints players, at one of the New Orleans Jazz games when they played in the old auditorium.
Uh-huh.
And he carried him, I don't know, 10 yards or something.
Damn.
But that was a character that somebody mentioned to me, something about a guy eating glass. And I said, there was a guy who used to come into your father's mustache. And one night we went drinking, and this guy started harassing him, or harassing me, I mean.
Yeah.
And Iron Jaw said, let me handle this. And he turned to the guy and he said, if you don't leave him alone, this is what I'm going to do to your face. And he took a glass and he bit it and chewed it. And the guy left us alone for some strange reason.
I guy must have been brave because you're a pretty sturdy guy yourself, So
Yeah, but it was, and he wasn't a super large guy, but he was also a martial arts expert and a bunch of stuff. But he was, I never forget the time he picked Big Bill up and carried him across the stage.
I don't.
Bill weighed over 400 pounds, Kent.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, that's what made it
Yeah.
so astounding.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's like getting 3 beer kegs and toting them, huh?
Yeah. So he was, that was, but if you need a drinking partner who would keep you out of trouble,
Well, there was a waiter there when I first started, and his name was Sean Hickey, and he was an Irish guy, and he had this big beard, and he had these just flaming blue eyes. And he also helped one night because I got a bit of a mess with a couple customers, and Bill and Sean comes over and he grabs the guy like this and he says, "You sit down or I'm going to eat your face." and the guy looked at him and sat down, so it's like,
who says words don't matter?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Fred.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good picture of Fred and Joel. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Great picture of Joel.
Hey, Bill, did you get that thing I sent you of Jerry Sacco and me and a fourth washboard player sticking our heads in that?
Oh, when did you do that one?
I sent it a week ago. If you didn't get it, I'll send it to you again.
Okay. Yeah, I knew this is the one you were talking about last week. I didn't another one. Okay. All right.
I'll send it to you for next week. It's one of those things you put your heads in holes and
That's a good
take
one.
pictures
Oh.
of 4 of us while washboard players.
Yeah,
Lovely, lovely.
That's a nice
class
picture.
reunion.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Good picture.
Oh. Mm. Hmm.
It's that's why it always strikes me that sometimes you don't know when's the last time you're going to do something.
I know.
You know?
That was at bar, right? When you all came.
Yeah, this is the picture. Yeah, this was in the bar.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, you got the song.
What a quartet, yeah.
Got the actual-
LaRue.
is that a freeze frame or you got the video?
No, but that's a freeze frame.
Oh, okay.
Kent, are you ready for snow tonight?
I'm always ready for snow.
Not me, but I don't go
Might as,
out anyway.
might as well be, right? It's gonna snow whether I'm ready or not. So I've just
Yeah, and with my situation, I don't go out when it's under 40 or 45 degrees anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
That's all winter, isn't it?
No,
no.
we
We were
got
up in the-
60-degree temperatures coming up Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, we and 10 or 12 days ago we had 50s and 60s. So we have extremes.
Yeah, and the last 2 or 3 days were, did you say 15s and 16s?
We were below zero a couple of
Yeah.
days.
But high temperatures
Yeah.
last couple of days were in the below 20.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go.
were like 7 last night.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it got to 27 here, which was just cold for us,
Same here. Yeah. Same here.
Mhm.
26, 27.
but we're a dry cold here, as they say.
Yeah,
but it's when it's zero, I don't care if it's humid or dry. It's still it's like they say in Arizona. It's a dry heat when it's 112, but it's still hot.
Yeah. Hey, Roger.
hey, Roger.
How is it?
Hello, Roger.
Roger?
How y'all doing?
Roger.
All good.
Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Everybody have nice weather?
No,
No?
Colorado's like a crazy roller coaster, snowing like hell, and the mountain steamboats got over 100 inches, which is great. Keep the ski areas going, keep the skiers happy, and light snow down here in Denver, which is wonderful for all of us.
Well, I have
Yeah,
no
a lot of
clue.
snow, but it's treacherous to get there. So
Yeah. Glad I don't have to drive it anymore, Kent.
me
Oh,
either.
that wonderful picture. That was at our 50th reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 50.
Good old Freddie boy.
Yeah.
Roger, you look so young there.
Oh shit. Always wanted to have black hair. No, I had to just it's still fading a little on the gray. But as you know, Fred and I went to high school together. I have to find a picture that he took of me and the cheerleaders together.
Was that in Kansas City or where was that, Roger?
Huh?
Where was that? Where'd you guys go to high school?
Van Horn High School, Independence, Missouri.
Oh,
Home of Heritage
okay.
Troops.
That's what I thought. Kansas City area.
Yeah, it's funny. The school was Independence, but Kansas City had control of the school. It was sort of a messy for a while. Now Independence has control of the high school. Last time I went up there, and they just did a lot of positive things for the community and the school now. But then after high school, Fred and I got our first apartment together. That was quite interesting.
Those walls could talk, huh?
Party, party, party. I'll tell you a funny story about that place. Fred had there's George. There's one of my cars I drove to the.
56 Chevy.
That's the 56 Chevy. Right? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Drove from
the hard way.
where did I drive that from? Oh, from Independence, Missouri to Cape Cod. I sold the car to Fred because Fred came to Independence and says he's going to work at your father's mustache at Cape Cod. He said, come along. I said, hell, I don't have any money. So the next day I said, Fred, I got an idea. He said, what's that? I said, I'll sell you my car. I'll have some money, and then you'll have a car to get us to Cape Cod. He agreed. But
You were a shrewd dealer there.
well, it's sort of stayed in the family, I guess. But the funny thing about that, Fred and I had this real neat apartment. Well, I was getting irritated living in Independence. So I gathered a few friends. I said, let's get out of here. He said, where do you want to go? I said, we can either go to New Orleans, Hollywood, or New York. So we agreed on going to New Orleans. And because my sixth grade teacher read to us Mark Twain books. I'm sorry, no, but she kept the dialogue and she used every word in the book. So I was fascinated by that. So anyway, we got together and we just took off to New Orleans and we didn't tell anybody. We just left town. And then when we got to New Orleans, two of my buddies, Al, who was a professional pool player, he wanted to go up to the East Coast and see Willie Moscone. I said, that's cool. I'm staying here. There's a 500 club. And I like that picture. And the other guys, one other guy went with him, and another schoolmate of mine stayed with me in New Orleans. We had got an apartment on the corner of Rampart and Esplanade as a housing thing. The bathroom was down the hall. So we stayed there for a while. Then Christmas time come. It was right when Kennedy got shot. And I was walking down Rampart Street, and all these people in here were crying and upset. I said, what's going on? I said, they just shot our president. Oh, Jesus.
Roger, what year did you graduate from high school?
Huh?
What year did you graduate from high school?
1962.
I was 61.
Yeah. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah. I still keep contact with a few of my friends up there.
Yeah, me too.
The sad thing about this, as you age and get older, a lot of your friends die.
Yeah.
And they don't give you any manual on how
Well, look at this group. All the people that have gone, like since what year did you start this Zoom thing, Tom?
About 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at how many people are gone since then, like John Murata and Jeff Allswing and so many, Bill Higby and so many others.
I know.
Steve Yoakum.
Yeah, the first one
Yeah.
was Steve. He was on-
When John and Jeff were here, man, I just turned it on and sat.
Yeah, they were something.
Really?
Well, Steve Yoakum was the first one I remember passing. He was checking in from Holland or someplace like that.
Yeah, he lived in Holland the last number of years of his life.
And he had some procedure done, and he was going to have something done. He was real hopeful it was going to.
Yeah, I was communicating with him a lot when he was put in the hospital and he couldn't come out.
Right.
I still have that email. It's interesting. He was so positive all along, that he's going to come out and I'll be all right and all this.
Yeah.
But
No, but it's Tom and I talk about that a lot. It's so special to be able to do this. Shared memories with people that we can share memories with.
Yeah.
And his wife posts
Sure is. Sure
a lot
is.
of videos of his on YouTube.
Oh yeah, he does.
I gave him a ride
He was doing.
when we went to celebrate Fred's celebration of life,
Mhm.
and he's a heavy smoker, and so anyway, I had the windows down. He kept puffing smoke. He just talked all kinds of stuff as we were riding back and forth, as you know what you do and something like that. But it was so interesting. And let me ask another question. I was in New Orleans, and we had a meeting out at the lakefront, and I brought Barry Kaiser along with me.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, I remember that. I was
Does
there.
anybody have a picture of that or the dates?
I can't find it real. I can't pull it up right now, but I have a picture of that at the table.
I think I've got some too. Yeah.
And Milton Murray
I'd
was
like to have a
Milton
picture.
was there.
there
But it
too.
was so funny. I was visiting Barry at the time and Fred both. No, Fred was dead, right? I was visiting Barry, and I said, "You want to come out there with me?" First response, "No, Barry wasn't into that much." Next day, I got up and said, "Listen, I'm going out to the lakefront." He says, "Wait, I want to come along."
Mm.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was,
No, I'll find it, Roger. I'll put it on the meeting next week, and also I'll send you a copy of it.
that'd be great. I appreciate that. And anyway,
I've got some too. It's probably the same ones you've got, Bill. But
Yeah, I think
I'm sure they are.
shot the picture, sent it to us on our
everybody
iPad.
sitting around the tables and all that. Yeah.
yeah, that was quite a few of us were there at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna try to play a little video. A lot of times they get kicked off after the video is over, but this is the 50th reunion, which has the opening part of the reunion at Carnegie Hall.
right, great.
Let's see if I can get this thing going here. If it cooperate with me, let's go, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the banjo is back in town.
Mm.
That was
That's
good.
great.
Just
Or I'm still not satisfied.
Isn't that the picture
That
you
was-
have hanging up, Barry? Isn't that the picture you have hanging up?
Not
Your
that,
house.
not that exact frame.
hard to believe that was 13, 14 years ago.
It was. God.
13 or 14 years, Kent.
That's right. That's 2011, right?
Where'd those years go, man?
Good question.
Off in the ozone, off to Mars with Mr. Muskrat.
Yeah.
Well, Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen used to have a song that was called "Lost in the Ozone Again."
I
I
like
like
that.
that band.
I like Commander Goldie. He was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I used to have one of their records, but I've given all my
I saw-
vinyl records away to a good friend of
I was
mine.
I was privileged to see Commander Cody at the Armadillo World Headquarters in Austin
Uh,
Well, that's nice.
back in, let's see, 74. Yeah, 74. That was before we went into, it took off right before Christmas, and we had Sugar Bowl, Super Bowl, Mardi Gras in the space of 6 weeks after that.
Yeah, that was
So-
crazy, wasn't it?
That was a crazy time. Yeah,
It just kept
the body
moving.
didn't get a break much.
I remember that time period.
Oh, yeah.
by the way, Kent, I just had a good friend of mine made me some potato soup with the hula hands recipe. And
All
it was
right.
really good.
A lot of good recipes there.
Oh, their big potato soup was thick and creamy and just absolutely incredible.
French onion was good.
Yeah,
French
with
onion, yeah.
layer of cheese on top of it. It was
French
so-
onion was.
Yeah, man. Hmm.
10-cent oysters, a happy hour in New Orleans back in the good old days.
Yeah,
And working
25
off the
cents.
automatic bar system that you told me about.
Well, that kind of sucked, but the
Yeah.
what kind of bartenders it take to push a button, you know?
Push a button.
Yeah, I know. Having been a bartender for years, it was really insane, those automatic bar systems.
Hey, good for the corporate bottom line, though. The important
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah. But you know what you get when you cross an alligator and a bartender,
I do
an
not.
alligator that steals.
A what?
What?
An alligator that steals.
Oh. Not with an automatic pouring system.
Oh yeah, right. Come on. You're smarter than that, old man.
Yeah, well, the mustache did its best. I mean, it kept the cooperage. We had to weigh the beer kegs in and out every night, and
Yeah.
and the bottles of booze and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
but then it kind of threw it off when the waiters could drink free after hours, as long as they would have to.
Well, you know, New Orleans held the record for the most after-hour drinking.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Due to the fact that we weighed the kegs in and out, you
Yeah,
could tell beer was drunk after hours.
yeah.
In
Each
Denver,
club.
we had separate liquor stash and beer stash from for the waiters and bartenders and musicians from the stuff for the public.
Blackpool.
It was separated.
Blackpool.
Yeah, Butch
Now
England.
that was that an automatic system there?
No, that's the way they did it in Europe. It's not automatic. It's just the individual. You put a glass under it and it was individual 1 ounce shots or something like that, but not the automatic system from like we had in the States.
I mean, but it would measure your jigger at
Yeah.
itself. Okay,
Yeah, one at a time.
that's kind of automatic compared to what we did.
Well, it wasn't anything like what we had in the States.
Yeah,
It's interesting. When I was over there, I went down to have a cold beer in the middle of the day, and they said, "We can't serve any beer now." I said, "Why?" It's because all the pubs close in the afternoon to make sure all the men go back to work.
They had some weird hours and
I said, "Okay, I'll wait till later."
That's funny.
yeah. But I'm talking about those after hours things. The waiters, I think that's where we got the bond a lot too. We would sit around after work. I was just have a beer, and sometimes we wouldn't be going out till like morning. The sun's coming up, and we're walking out of the, which was a
I
problem.
remember going to the dungeon about 3 a.m. in the morning and leaving about 9 a.m. and you'd walk out and be warm and sunny and
Yeah, the dungeon still there.
I would
Anybody remember-
Lucky Pierre sometime. They had a great breakfast, 4 or 5 in the morning.
But remember how the mustache, we talked about it being haunted, and there were certain pictures on that wall you could not keep straight. We would, even for our after hours, after hours, we'd go straight in the picture. We'd all be talking and drinking and stuff. You look up at it, it's crooked again, you know.
Every club was supposedly haunted as well.
Mhm.
Well, the other reason there was so much beer consumed in New Orleans was when Lucian would bring the other porters in, the waiters would leave,
Exactly.
Lucian would come in.
And then where would you find Lucian? Laying over on a bench.
Right. Or I remember that once we caught him peeling the mop bucket and then mopping the floor. And we discovered that's why the place wasn't smelling so good.
Oh,
And that was one of the reasons that he had to go, and we hired George, was
Yeah.
because Lucian was let's say he was slipping on his cleaning practices in his old age.
Right.
Does anybody remember pork? You got pork chop would come in a lot.
Pork chops, right.
Yeah, pork chop. Yeah, just a street person, and he would come in, and he and Lucian got up and told a story at one of our Christmas parties, and I couldn't understand a word they said. It went on for about 15 minutes. And
Is that Lucian?
we're laughing, you know.
Lucian was interesting. Lucian had blue eyes.
Yeah.
And one time he invited me, I don't know who went with me, over to his house for a dinner, some holiday. And his wife was cooking all this great food and everything. She was just a fantastic cook. And I thought, well, it was really nice to do that. You know, he didn't get drunk at his house.
He knew better.
Yeah, he was a good boy over there. But of course, everybody knew Lucian on the street too. Jesus, what a character.
Everybody kind of knew everybody on the street, you know.
Yeah. There's a Benjamin
well,
truck.
here's
yeah,
from 67.
wow.
My freshman year of high school.
The beautiful fire truck,
It was.
Los, Louisiana.
He has a webbing over his tuba. I guess, he has a mustache on it with eyeballs. That's it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Does anybody know, does Don Summers still work on the boat? Or is he still around?
He hasn't checked in a while.
I think he's working when we're on. That's what happened. That's why he wasn't on after.
Yeah.
Yeah, he changed jobs or something.
Changing the subject briefly, that blurb I read last week from Brian, who goes by August, about the drink, about her, why she doesn't drink and all. She also included a picture. She draws her photos with a thing called a crosshatch, and I bought a book on how to do that for Bonnie. And this is a self-portrait of her with a glass that she.
That's interesting.
Huh, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
book.
that's interesting. That's nice.
Yeah, she describes why she got into crosshatch and describes how you can do it. And my wife likes to draw and stuff, so I got her the book that shows how she does this. But she's
Who
so
is that, Bill?
This is Brian, Joel's daughter.
Okay.
When I read the part of that article last week, was she's talking about why she doesn't drink and how Joel inspired her, because he wouldn't drink, but he would show up.
Never drank.
It's always the life of the party, and show up on a camel and cross dress and just everything. He didn't need the drinks to become would you call it?
Controversial.
Yeah, well, or uninhibited or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, but this is a self portrait by Brian. I call her August all the time.
That's good.
Brian.
Here's the book, Bill.
Yeah.
Here's the book.
Oh, okay.
with her-
Oh.
Yeah, cross hatching. I bought 2 copies of that. I got one for Bonnie and one for a friend that draws, so
Yeah, that,
she's coming out with a novel soon, I think in a month or 2. So I'm gonna get that too.
yeah.
I'm impressed with people that can just make money. Of course, all our musician friends here made money just by performing, but to just put it together by doing arts. Oh, and Emily Barry told a good story about Brian last week. She came to town with Joel and ate at at Arno's where Barry was playing. You can tell Barry about why you were impressed with her music selection and everything.
We came in, Joel and Brian came in.
Uh-huh.
And we strolled tables to take requests. The trio I was with, she requested the song Body and Soul.
Ah,
And that's an interesting selection for a person that young.
that's true.
Yeah.
So we played Body and Soul, and Joel was proud that we knew it. And all that. Because that's a song we never played at the Mustache. It didn't fit.
Yeah.
And then she said that she was going to go out on Royal Street, the next block over, with her ukulele and do some busking, street music. She's an interesting person.
Very. And did she do that?
Yeah.
She played in the New York subway for a long time.
Yeah. So apparently she knew about busking.
Yeah.
Emily, I guess it's if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Playing in the New York subway.
Hey, Ira.
Hey, guys.
Ira.
Hey, Ira.
Who was playing in the New York subway?
Brian Schiavone.
Ah, okay. That's a nice, safe place to be.
A tough crowd down there.
Oh, it wasn't standing on the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Photo from, let me get this out of my way here.
Wow. That's a great picture.
That is a good picture. United Fun.
United Fun. We did so many charitable things through your father's mustache.
I recognize Ben Smith on the tuba. He played trombone.
Yeah. Neil and Hazlip on the trombone. And
Who was on the banjo? The guy with the hat.
Neil Unterseer, the hat on. George Berg is the other banjo player.
He painted the truck, Emily.
Yeah, Neil painted the truck, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or did he? Huh.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they did a lot of benefits because I know I did cystic fibrosis. We were on the fire truck with Playboy bunnies.
I have letters from from churches, from all kinds of groups that thanked us for coming out, and playing at their special event.
Well, here's another picture from the last reunion.
Oh, Freddie and
Ira and Bernadette.
Yeah, exactly. Great picture. Fred was very, very, very sick. We didn't think he would make it. And then he totally recovered. And now they've got the Galvanized Jazz Band back playing again.
Yeah, you had mentioned I think at the memorial services he was sick, you told us.
He was, and he got worse after that. Remember he brought his son along to help him play because he was very weak that day. But he got worse, and I didn't think he was going to make it, but by miracle he's together, and now he's back. He's fine.
What was he sick of?
Cancer.
Ah.
So.
Hey guys, I need to sign out here. I'm having trouble breathing, so it's
Oh,
good to see you all, and
Hey, Mike, good to
I'll
see
see you
you.
next week.
yeah.
Take care, Mike.
Okay, Michael,
Hey,
we'll see you,
Mike,
bud.
take care. All right, Mike.
Take care, y'all.
I'll look for the picture you sent with the washboards.
I'll send it again tomorrow, Bill.
Okay. All right. This is Just another old pic. I think this is the Boston Club.
Oh, I've never seen that.
That was in a strange location.
Yeah.
Boston Club was in the basement, and upstairs was in proper Bostonian.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Russo and let me see if I can see everybody's names here. I have the names of these people there. It's Kevin Russo, Don McGowan, Kenny Strove, Gary Dixon, and John Rogers. John Rogers and Kevin Russo both were at the reunion in New Haven, the last one. And John's the one who sent me these pictures because we had made the video, but I didn't have a lot of Boston pictures at the time. All I had was what people had been sending in. How big was the Boston Club? It looks. Didn't you say it was in a strange location, like a fire hazard or something?
No, it was on 74 Warrington Street.
Wasn't that down the steps?
It was in the basement.
Yeah.
Jim would know.
Yes, I think at one point somebody had made a conversation, said that it was kind of like the exit, since it just had that one entrance and exit, it was kind of like a fire hazard where they had a lot of people down there.
Imagine that.
Yeah, where was the rear exit at your father's mustache on Bourbon Street?
It went to that little alley in the back that you could.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Dottie.
Hi, Dottie.
Hi, Al.
Dottie?
Hey, Dottie.
Hey, Dottie.
Looking good.
Hey,
Hey,
Dottie. Dottie, how do you like your husband's beard?
Oh, it's just fine.
Yeah, it looks good. He looks 20 years younger.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about got some, it's not like in the mustache days.
No.
No, I like it. I do like it. I do like it.
perfect.
Thank you, Dottie.
It's fine.
I think everybody's about the same color. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Except for Roger, huh?
Yeah, I still got my dark hair.
Yeah.
He's still
Al.
youthful.
Yeah. Yeah. This is John Rogers and Kevin Russo from when at the reunion.
At the reunion, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and up in New Haven, in Connecticut.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they were both in Connecticut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they told a story about a giant pie fight they had there at the club, where they were doing it themselves, but then I think they said, I forgot how many pies, 50 or 60. And the people who were there, the customers started getting in on it,
God, who had to clean that up, I wonder?
Yeah, they used whipped cream. We used to use shaving cream because it didn't get sticky and you could wash it off. But the whipped cream gets to be
Shaving cream is terrible.
and it stinks when you let it dry, Yeah.
Okay, well, here's Barry with.
That's a great shot.
Barry, Peter.
That's Pete on the right, huh?
Yeah.
Peter Leonidas on the right and Franny Smith in the middle.
Franny Smith.
I keep getting Franny Smith on my Facebook thing. Somebody you might know. I guess it's because he's friends with people I know, but
Yeah.
He played at the New Orleans Club a while.
Yeah, he was there for a summer, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
July 4th, 1978. Autograph picture from Barry.
Wait, 1978?
That's not possible.
That's at the Red Garter in Wildwood.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Old Peter. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, another one we're missing, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter used to come on every week.
Yeah, he did. I miss him.
Yeah, he'd usually be on early too. If you got on early, he was going to be there.
But here's
That's a good
New
one.
York.
That's a good shot.
7th Avenue and 10th Street.
Is the guy sitting the highest? Is that John?
That's John McLaren.
It is. Yeah. Looks like he's holding on for dear life.
He probably was.
It's like sitting on. I guess it's the. I don't know what that is. Just a little bar across the back, or is a.
That's the fire truck, which I never saw.
Yeah. And Little Ira and who else?
Bill Higby, Dave Hunt. Who's on the right? Is that Gim? Who's that on the right? He's a trombone player, I think.
I don't think Gim's here today.
No.
Yeah. But Dave Hunt was
gone. Okay.
in New Haven, the last one too.
I don't think it's Dennis Drury.
Little Ira looks like a flower child.
Yeah, why were y'all wearing knickers for?
Yeah, those are some nice knickers.
Yeah,
All those mustache knickers.
knickerbockers.
Knickerbockers. Oh.
When I was with the show band, at least one set a night, we'd wear knickers. We used to change different uniforms for different sets. One set was knickers.
Interesting.
Did y'all change the medleys based on what y'all were wearing?
No.
Just a different look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. You try to get a picture of Joan in there once in a while. This was at Carnegie Hall.
Oh
yeah.
That was a warm up everybody did just before, the first time the band all got together to warm up before the performance.
Probably Friday night.
Well, here's a warm up.
Oh my God.
The next morning.
Gee, the crickets.
But look at the T-shirt: Earth, Wind, and Banjos.
Yeah.
Like a bear.
That's funny.
Like Barry and Danny Rubio.
Danny. Yeah.
Y'all should be saying, "You are my sunshine."
Yeah, we had a good time last night, Joel.
Oh, that's a classic.
You had a good time when you try to brush something off your shoulder and it's the floor. Yeah, that's some rough looking there.
It's going to have numbers across your chest there.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was painful.
You talked to Mike lately there?
Yeah, I talk to him about once every couple of weeks.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Have you got that picture? You want me to send it to you?
Were you talking to me? What picture?
Talking to Barry.
Oh, Barry.
But I have that one.
Okay.
There's that to cut out too. So
all right, Rick, see you next
good
week.
to see everybody.
All right.
Take care, Rick.
Take care, buddy.
Tell Sandra hi.
We'll do. See you next week.
Oh, you bet.
Hopefully.
Have a
Same time.
Same station.
Bye-bye, baby.
Hey, Roger, where are you living now?
Where am I living now?
Yeah.
Today I'm in Gilbert, Arizona.
Yeah.
It's an interesting place. We moved down here because my wife had a great job opportunity, and they shipped us down here. But we were going to leave after a couple of years, but then COVID came and nobody could go anywhere. So she stuck it out a little longer. Now we're thinking of moving back up to as my mother-in-law said, God's country, up in the beautiful Northwest. All of our family's up there, so we'll probably head back there as soon as we can get out of here. It's an interesting place down here.
Yeah, you're
are very on the red side of the fence.
oh yeah. Well, do they raise a lot of horses around there? You're close to Scottsdale, or where are you? You said, are you close to Scottsdale?
Yeah, we lived in Scottsdale for a year.
Okay, all right.
We like Scottsdale a lot, and we were 10 minutes from my wife's work, so we just had one car, and I'd take her to work, pick her up, go have a few cocktails, and go home. It was a great little deal, but then the landlord raised our rent on our house so much, and we said, well, this is silly. And we had some cash left over from the sale in Seattle. So they brought us down here to a place called the Islands. And you drive through it, there's all these waterways. And I tell the realtor, I said, hell, I didn't know they had bayous down here. I said, I don't know the bayou. It didn't go anywhere. I said, oh, okay.
You could have gotten some crawfish if you got jumped in.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They have a lot of good seafood restaurants down there, actually, which is surprising, but it's just the climate of the people is a little different.
Know you feel it. I know the feeling. I live on the North Shore. That's kind of like I'm a little blue dot in the red here.
Uh-huh. I never thought about it when we were moving, anything about all the crazies that are still available.
Oh yeah.
But they're everywhere, so.
Unfortunately.
I went over to Starbucks, and when I first got here, and hanging around this guy, I said, why don't you come over and join us? I said, okay, that's cool. So after a couple weeks of that, they were just really heavy Trump fans. I said, oh, Jesus. They got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, this was an old ad for the Dream Room. Probably showed it before.
Wow.
26 Bourbon Street, the biggest stars ever.
Yeah.
I wonder why they went out of business.
Yeah, it was Louis Prima and
Yeah.
Sam Patero.
And they had all the big jazz people at that time period that played there. And that's where we got our corporate name is the Dream Room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Each city had a different corporate name, and you had your own attorney.
Yeah. Look at the phone number, MA 8057. I remember when we used to do, in fact, my first phone number I can remember was only 6 digits like that. It was 711453. And they added a 2 to it later, so it was 7211453. That's a long time ago, back in the 50s, I guess, or even earlier.
Back in the 50s.
Yeah. They'd always have an exchange like Twinbrook or Jackson or things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, Roger, here I showed this earlier, but you weren't on.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Beer guzzling contest, Mardi Gras special.
I like the beer guzzling contest twice daily, 3 p.m. and 2:30 a.m.
If you're not drunk, come back at 2:30.
And then also free admission with this flyer before 2:30 or after 3 a.m.
Remember, we had pickle eating contest too.
Interested.
Yeah, well, this is just an old, this is just another street person from the Mustache Days in New Orleans. Ruthie the Duck Girl.
Oh, no, Ruthie was mean to those ducks, so she was. She went for a duck girl, but everybody knew her. And she
Yeah.
drank wherever she went. So
The ducks would follow her all over too.
yeah, and the ducks would follow her. Just a couple of them. There was another person on Bourbon Street. He didn't have any legs, but he made a little platform with wheels on it, and he scooted all around. You guys remember him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
remember what we called him.
He was real low to the ground too. It wasn't
Yeah.
it was like with those little coasters on the bottom of it. Did he push with his hands or did he have little sticks?
Les Moore wrote a song about him. I got the Les Moore album. I should look for it.
That would be good.
Yeah, I kept in touch with him for a while, and he was being a postman, and I guess he's still playing in Texas. He's still playing the guitar somewhat, but yeah, it's a tough business.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. Okay. All right. Apparently, I still keep getting kicked off when I play video, so it's we're gonna probably wrap it until next
Yeah. Okay.
Thursday. And yeah, that'd be the last Thursday before Mardi Gras next week.
So we're on for next week, right?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
What is Mardi Gras?
Yeah, we're on for next week.
March 4th.
March the 4th.
Yeah. Yeah.
As Emily says, coming soon.
You know, they sell king cakes here in Arizona.
Oh, they do? Yeah.
From Gambino's.
Here comes Elaine.
Yeah, we
They
keep
got parades tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
40 degrees.
The parade start.
Yeah, I hated it when it was really cold and windy. But I don't have to shoot any more Mardi Gras anymore, so I don't have to go if I don't want to.
Really?
Sometimes riding on the float with the king and all that, when it was freezing cold, you know, because you're out there on the route for 2 to 3 hours, you know, and it's on Bacchus in particular, because I would have to get on the little steps that head up to where the king stands. It'd be freezing, you know, just sometimes.
Do these the Bacchus still end its parade in the Dome?
No, the convention center.
The convention center?
Yeah, Bacchus, Orpheus, and Zulu all end up in the convention center.
Yeah, some parades were going into the Dome.
Endymion ends up in the Dome.
Endymion does the Dome. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was working with Billy. I worked one night with Billy on it was at Orpheus, and
yeah,
and Emily was there, and she's standing, and Bonnie's there, and they're waving as all the floats come through the convention center. And Emily's looking up, and this guy, she thinks he's throwing her a bead. He threw her a bag of beads and hit her in the face with it. It was like,
that's the problem, is when it gets to the convention center, they make one more round around it. And so any beads they got left, they're dumping them. So that's why I tell people, you'll see the parade, go to the convention center if you want to catch beads.
Yeah.
They don't want to carry them home, you know, so that you go home with as much beads as you could possibly want, you know, if that's what you're there for, you know.
The parades are fun. I was in one parade. I was in the Zulu parade. And the reason I got in the Zulu parade, I just started using some jazz musicians in Clarity that Maynard set up for me.
Yeah.
And they came back and they said, well, we need something to ride on in the parade. And Maynard said, well, Roger's got a car. I had that antique car that looked like a Ford car. Can you drive it in the parade? I said, yeah. So of course I was up all night Monday. I had to go over to their house early Tuesday. The only white guy in the house, but they had all the best food you could possibly eat. Just great people. And so we loaded up, and I had these girls sitting in the back of the car, and I was driving through certain parts of town. And the brothers, what are you doing? What are you doing driving no doing?
You didn't put the blackface on?
I had my black derby hat on. I just waited. Kept driving.
I've known white people ride in the Zulu, but they make them wear the blackface because even the blacks wear blackface in it with the big white lips in Zulu.
Yeah. that was quite an experience I had. I actually appreciated it when I got to do it.
Yeah, that would be, so.
It'll be in my history book.
All right, well, I'm going to cut out because I just have
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Thank you,
for
Bill.
Next
Hey,
week.
we'll see everybody
see
next
you
week.
next week.
We're on
See
to
you,
next
Emily.
week.
Y'all take care.
See you all next week. Be safe out there.
Emily,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can read the article.